Demon Performance Center, your trusted transformation experts. Visit www.demonperformancecentre.co.uk today or call now.
We got Lynn's Mk3 Focus RS in today for an underbody restoration. And I bet you're thinking, the car's mint, why would it need a restoration? Well, the underside will tell us a whole different story, trust me. Due to the amount of recycled steel, which is 25 to 30% going into new car production, and the lack of protection going on these vehicles, they can suffer bad in the UK's climate. That's where we come in to save these future icons. After all, it does carry the legendary RS badge. So, let's put it on the ramp and let's have a look underneath it and see what we're dealing with. Right, she's up in the air, and as you can see, she's a total different story to what it is on the top side. There's plenty of corrosion on it. Yeah, everything, back plates, rear arms, hubs, drive shafts, yeah, little bits on the body. I'm going to quickly show you through this car and see what we've got to deal with. I don't know if most of you probably know from the RS scene is Lynn Dumpleton. Used to be the Mk3 Focus RS registrar. She's passionate about Ford RS. She's obviously got a Mk1. She's got this Mk3. I think she was a bit upset when she bought this car last year, and we serviced the vehicle and said it needs a bit of TLC. So she's going to put the money into it to sort it out, because she'll be keeping it anyway. And then once it's done, it'll be wrapped up in cotton wool, and like a Mk1. It's just stunning. So this car's the same. It's worth doing, worth putting the money into. Well, I'm going to quickly show you around what we've got to deal with. So, yeah, the hubs, drive shafts, as you can see, same both sides, back plates, they'll go in the bin. Arms, I'll have a look and assess them. We're trying to keep as much of it sort of standard sort of form as we can. She doesn't mind if we've got to put bushes in it and whatnot, we can do that. She doesn't mind too much, but yeah, I'm going to try and keep it fairly standard, even though we're in talks about changing the exhaust because she wants a bit more noise. There's a bit of corrosion in the body in places. I'm going to hopefully do this. I've not yet spoken to Lynn about how far we're going, but we'll see as the video progresses. Obviously here, these are little simple things. Obviously on a Mk3 RS, it is four-wheel drive, so there's a bit more work to tackle. So you've got like rear drive shafts, the rear diff unit. You're going to probably see some interesting video about me cleaning that up and that later on in the video. Hopefully I'll get my new machine out and you can see me in action with that. So anyway, back to the front. As you can see, yeah, she's pretty grotty. But that's due to the fact that I'm saying there's just no protection on these vehicles. Let me grab a light and you can see a little bit better. So you can see what we're dealing with up here. And again, there's just no protection on whatsoever. So once we've done this, it'll be all coated properly and waxed up, and she'll be good for another 10, 20 years, however long she stays alive for. So you can see the calipers have been refurbed. They've been refurbed, so freshly done with some new hoses. So that's one less job we need to do. So anyway, I'm going to get stripping this now, and yeah, I'll show you some stripping action. The car, not me. Right guys, this is like the rear end stripped down now. So the RDU's out of it, the hubs are stripped down, just got some bushes and stuff to knock out of it and whatnot. So I'm going to target the front now and get that stripped down, his prop shaft and a few bits and pieces and stuff. So they're a big old battle on the Mk3, so it's not quite as quick as other stuff. Even though things are coming apart, it's still long-winded and still a lot of work to do. So we'll crack on and let's do it. Okie dokie. So we've got Lynn's all stripped now, barring I've just got to take the drive shafts out, but I'll take them out after I finish doing the cleaning off process and that, saves getting any water inside the gearbox. So everything's off. There's quite a bit of corrosion. So obviously Lynn's aware of it. I've given the bad news. Well, we sort of knew there was a bit we needed to do with it anyway. So it was, but yeah, there's quite a bit, to be fair, for the age of the car. Nothing too major. It's easy enough to be fixed and make nice. So I'll have you walk around here now to show you what I found. So grab this light here, might help us. The crash bar's coming off. Just left it on for just showing purposes, that's coming off, and then that'll get powder coated with the rest of the stuff. We've got quite a bit of stuff there, a bit of rust there we've got to deal with. Nothing too major. It's like everything, when it's dirty, it actually doesn't look like there's too much about, but it actually is. So what we're not seeing is here. It's like this area here, for instance, now. I don't know if you can see this. Let me just tap there, can see. Now, underneath all this dirt, so I rub this away, it's all rust. So once I clean this off and wash all this vehicle off, you'll just be left with all this. So once I start painting, it won't be just like these little bits of rust up here. What you can see up there and up the top, we'll end up doing all these legs, all the way along here, all the way down there. It just keeps going and going and going. And it looks quite innocent until you start cleaning it off. And there's more and more and more. It's the same on here. So what we're going to do, sort it out, treat it properly. Nothing major, it's just wants sorting out. It's and that's what we're going to do. That's what it's here for. So we'll make it into a nice car. Not too much on the front, just a little bit in a couple of corners there. And there. A little bit there, but there's, you know, nothing too major. Nothing we can't sort out. So we've got a pile of framework there. So that's going to be all powder coated. I've got some bits over there which are literally going to be painted, well, sprayed. I've got bits of RS here, there and everywhere, and all the wash stuff is over here. So there's plenty to go at. So my next stage now, I'm going to hop back on here and I'm going to give it a blasting off and I'll do a little video with some blasting on this. Bolts. I bet you wonder, what do we do with these bolts? Obviously, they come out all rusty like this. Obviously, we've got to clean these up. Some of them are not serviceable, so they're just going to look really bad and the heads have gone on them, corrosion, so we have to replace them, but most of them will get restored. Now, the reason being, you know, a set of bolts for the whole car can cost as much as £500, so it adds a lot to the bill. So it obviously makes the costing a lot more and makes you stay away from us. So basically, that's what we do with the bolts. So now, jump in here. I've got bolts, brackets, and all sorts in here. So it's in an acid, this is. So literally what I'm going to do now, drop this in here, self-made bucket. I'm going to drop this acid into here. And you can probably see them bolts there are rust-free now. I'm sure someone will be mentioning about PPE and whatnot, but it's my body, so it's up to, if I want to blind myself, I'll do it.
Okay. Pop that out there. Another bucket. So that. And bolt's going to go in there now. Now dropped in there. Get rid of that acid. That's good for another time. I'll do quite a few times that acid, to be fair. So next plan here now, I'm going to chuck these into the vapor blaster, give them a blast up, and I'll show you in a minute after I've done that. Okay, so the bolts have been blasted now, so they've literally just gets all the acid off. Now, even though they look really good in there, they've still got acid on them, and believe me, if I dry these out, they'll rust so quick. So what we do here now, neutralizer. So this is that bucket of steamy water, you see, so I like to do warm water. A lot of you old school mechanics, like myself, will know, used to have a leaky battery, and used to use the old soda crystals, mix it in there, and your bucket of warm water, dissolve all the acid, and that's simply what we're using. So I'm going to drop them in there now. Actually, let me do it like that, actually. Drop them in there. And I'm going to let them warm up a bit in the warm water. And then I'm going to blow them off to dry. And then I've got, because it's freezing cold out there, I've got the space heater going today. So I'm going to pop them in front of there to dry out for a bit. And then they can go to the zinkers to get nice and done in re-zinked in silver. And we got some shiny bolts now. So they just come back from the zinkers today and they're looking good. So they're going to be nice when we reassemble the car. Obviously all them rusty bolts you saw us cleaning it up with the acid, dissolving the acid, getting them all nice and clean. And then we used to actually do this in-house ourselves. It's not too hard to do the process. The biggest problem is it's very time consuming. So the amount of time it used to take us to do it, you know, it's not really worth it to what we pay for it. So we just outsource them now. It saves up on time. But yeah, so you'll see these going on the car very shortly.
Demon Performance Center, your trusted transformation experts. Visit www.demonperformancecentre.co.uk today, or call now.